It's funny, it's moving, it's charming. Frankly, if anyone doesn't like it, they're an asshole.
We're thieves, but we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing and unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known.
The Red Wizards created an army of the undead.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know, I was being ironic.
I find irony is a blade that cuts he who wields it most especially.
What the fans of Dungeons & Dragons can expect from this movie?
Disappointment, I think, don't you? I'm frightened of those fans. When the film was announced, I went on Twitter to see how they reacted, and they were incredibly protective, negative about it. But they really hated the previous film, didn't they?
They did. They did not like the previous film.
So it's terrifying. But we have reason to believe that they may love this version, because in itself, it's an entertaining film. I know nothing about Dungeons & Dragons. I've never played, when this script was presented to me, I thought, well, that's not my cup of tea. And I read it and I was completely entertained. I turned every page for 2 hours without stopping, which is extremely rare. It's funny, it's moving, it's charming. And frankly, if anyone doesn't like it, they're an asshole.
Fuck yeah, Hugh. Yeah, it's got all sorts of wonderful Easter eggs for the fans. It's got displays for beasts and mimics and dragons and owlbears. It's got a paladin, and all sorts of things that deep fans will like. And then for people that have never played before, it's just a great adventure that has all the wonderful attributes of Dungeons and Dragons and why fans have fallen in love with it.
Dungeons, Dragons, a little bit of honor, smidge of honor, a lot of dishonor.
And thieves.
But basically everything you'd expect in a game, like just masses of improvisational chaos. Nothing goes to plan. There's dragons obviously around the place, there's magic, there's spells, but there's also all of those kind of really unpredictable, fun human stories that you get. It feels like playing with your friends and learning about each other as you go.
And there's Easter eggs for the diehard fans. There's little things that only diehard fans will recognize from the lore.
How are we gonna pull this off?
We're gonna need a team.
Follow me to the orifice.
The orifice?
I'll go last.
How was the preparation for this movie, considering that you never played Dungeons & Dragons before, and that have you ever played?
I played before I began with my nephew, who's a huge D&Der, he's 13, but he's played for like 6 years. And I played with him and my parents, my sister, his mom. And then we all played as a group. So that was my introduction to it, really.
How was for you this experience with RPG characters?
Well, I still haven't played. I'm frightened of it. I don't know why.
You think it brings the devil out?
I think you mess around with that stuff and Satan appears, yes.
Yeah.
I hadn't played before the movie, but we did play as a cast and before we started shooting, and that was very educational because I learned how a Dungeons & Dragons campaign breathes. And it breathes very similar to how this movie is written. There is this like tone of like, I don't want to say improvisation. I don't want to say that.
It's a chaos.
I want to say like fluidity. It's like it's creativity. It's imagination at in its purest form, and it has this perfect balance of humor and vulnerability, and that is exactly how playing the game is, and exactly what you get when you experience a campaign.
I lost everything that ever mattered to me, and if we quit now, that's for nothing.
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
It just means that there are no limits to your imagination when you're building a character. It's very similar to working on any other job, but the possibilities are so much wider. And kind of coming from like playing RPGs, it feels like that. It feels like anything could happen at any moment, but also you're in the hands of filmmakers like John and Jonathan who've made these incredible movies, who know the world so incredibly well, who care about it, but who are also smart enough to be incredibly funny whilst also making very real human characters whose journey you care about. And those are the best feelings I've ever had going through an RPG. Like, yes, there's the magic and the fights, but then there's also the story that you remember years after you played the game, you know?
What is that again? It's an owl bear.
And what you can say about your characters, and you'll be the villain of this movie. What can you say about that?
Well, I'm not very nice. I'll say that. I appear very nice, but deep down, I'm deeply selfish.
I play a bard. So my great skill is party planning and playing the lute and dancing and singing and just having a great time. So I had a great time.
And for you to play the role, how was this experience?
It was fun. It was fun. It was juicy. I love playing. You know, the more duplicitous and selfish characters are, the better I am at them.
Because it's closer to reality.
It's closer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of narcissists in the last 10 years and had a lot of success with them, I may say.
And now, guys, for my last question, if you could define this movie in one word, what would it be?
Super fun.
How many words is that, Chris?
Super dash fun. No,
I'm sorry.
I connected them.
In my book, you cheated.
I connected them.
It was a simple request.
It could be fun. No?
Why don't you go with fun and I'll go with fun.
Oh dear. We did it, darling.
We did.
Once again. It's a win.
Your word?
In my own words, fun.
Fun and fun.
Yeah, right.
Super fun.